It's also having that personal connection, which will entice them to want to read the rest of what you're saying, to look at the product, and maybe they want to try something if it sounds enticing, if you have great fragrance descriptions, if your visual is really.
I learned so much from you in the first place. And so tell me, like, you mentioned, how you're not, if there's a new eyeshadow, like it's hard to tell what that actually feels like, what it might smell like. Do you feel like there's, something that's been lost in that human touchness, or that, how everything's digital, so much of PR and media is digital now. Do you feel like there's been a little bit of a loss of that magic as a result?
I should say yes, but I don't think so. Because I think you can be really good with descriptions. I represent a beautiful candle line, and I sent an email to, someone I work with all the time, and said, I think you'll love this candle line. And she said, how could I not? The descriptions of the fragrances are so enticing. She said, kudos to their copywriter. I wrote the descriptions. I was really happy. You can do a lot with language, with visual. Their copywriter rocks. It's me. So, and also,
of course.
yeah, it was.
Aimee, finish your thought. Hector, can you cut that part out? We're on a delay here. Like, there's an internet delay. So, which is why we're kind of interrupting each other. So I'm just finish your thought. Just finish your thought. We'll cut this part out.
What was connecting. The other thing too is having that personal touch, that human touch, when you reach out to someone digitally, is saying to them, like, hey, how's your summer going? Or, I know that one of the editors has a bulldog, and I love bulldogs, and I'll mention the bulldog. It's also having that personal connection, which will entice them to want to read the rest of what you're saying, to look at the product, and, maybe they want to try something if it sounds enticing, if you have great fragrance descriptions, if your visual is really, really striking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I wanted to go back to what about like the intuition or the signs that you look for like that next big thing. Is there anything about like the founder itself, or obviously innovation always is something that will stand out, but do you ever get signs from maybe based off of the founder or their backstory, or based off of like maybe some unique new technology, or is it more about the founder? Is it more about the product? Is it a combo of the two? Like, what is your experience?
It's a combo of the two, but if you meet a founder that's just really has a compelling backstory, there's an interesting inspiration behind the product. They're a dermatologist. I have a new client where it's two men, and one of them, has done all this work with positive psychology. That's really, really unique for a fragrance brand. And sometimes also there are founders that are just like personality plus, that people are going to love them. So of course the press is going to love them. I had the virtual desk sides that we discussed yesterday with a founder. And I mean,
yes,
she was really engaging and fun, and everyone just fell in love with her. And when I met her, I knew that it didn't matter almost what we showed the press. They were going to love her, and they were going to want to write about whatever it is that she created, even though what she created is magnificent and has beautiful packaging, a compelling story, and smells delicious. I knew that they were going to fall in love with her, which they did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the founder does make a difference. But of course, when it comes to,
Big.
if you're able to meet with them in person, then of course that would make it easier for that founder to charm, to charm and bring that brand to life. But through
Yes,
digital, that copy, that messaging really, and that innovation really does make a difference.
absolutely.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about, have you noticed any emerging trends in beauty, health, lifestyle, wellness space that you find particularly interesting, particularly promising?
This brand actually that I talked about, that I mentioned, that has the positive psychology component, I found that really interesting because I think that we are trending towards products that have more of a wellness angle versus things that solve a problem. Things I feel like there's a big
Hmm.
trend towards things that not only make you look good but make you feel good. That the importance
Feel
is
good.
of the brand is an experiential. Mm-hmm. There's
Hmm.
also this. All I keep bringing up this brand because I love it, but it's also neurofragrance and neuro cosmetics. I think was at the forefront of this trend of feel good beauty, and I love to
Yes.
see that
Okay. I
because
like this.
I'm a fan of I'm a big fan of aromatherapy, so that's the first kind of feel good beauty that most people are familiar with. So I think it's really lovely that that brand founders are, and the industry in general is caring about how we feel and not just how we look.
Absolutely. And when we feel good, we look good.